Hi, friends. This is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about how Gamemasters, a channel that's right here on YouTube, is wrong about his 5 myths of Dungeons and Dragons, and how everything he identified as a myth of Dungeons and Dragons is 100% true, in my humble opinion, and how he was wrong. These myths are hard facts, in my humble opinion, about Dungeons and Dragons, and today we're going to talk about one of the myths. D&D is all math, right? And so, let's talk about Gamemasters himself. So Gamemasters, it's terrible, terrible, terrible name for a YouTube channel that commentates almost. I've never seen him talk about anything but Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm not sure why he uses Gamemasters, because Gamemasters don't run Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeon Masters run Dungeons and Dragons, and Dungeon Masters, are what's important. Gamemasters are not important. They're kind of disgusting. I don't like them. I don't identify as a game master. And if you are a game master, you should stop trying to be that thing. It's disgusting, useless, and not good. Game masters are really useless, but dungeon masters are the real deal. A good way to by the way, Lego is canon to Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is canon to Lego. And there's a perfect analogy. Any true master builder, right? A Lego master builder, they have collections, right? And you can pull out any brick in their collection, and it's pure, real Lego, right? And they would rip their hair out of their head before they would let you, with their own hands, before they would let you put in a single brick of fake Lego. Game Master is fake Lego, right? It's disgusting, right? Don't ever identify as a game master. Don't ever game master. Stay as a dungeon master. It's incredibly important. Okay, all right. Kind of went on a side quest there. Let's get back to the main quest. I'm not going to critical role this, so let's do the main quest. All right, so basically he said D&D is all math, right? And he goes, this is a myth. Right? And he goes, it's just adding a couple numbers. You roll some dice and you add a couple numbers, right? And this is completely false. Completely, disgustingly, horribly. It's a flat out lie. Like, there is outrageous numbers on Dungeons and Dragons, okay? Oh, let's just do a bog standard difficulty check, right? This is the simplest. Okay, you're a human fighter and you chop your sword at a goblin, right? Okay, what do you got to do? Well, you roll your d20, right? Okay, yeah, okay, I got you there, right? Let's start doing the math, right? So let's say you roll a 14, okay? First of all, you need to add your strength. Sure, I'll add my strength. 14, my strength is 16, the number is 30. No, wrong. If you have a 16 strength, you need to add a +3. What's that? Well, that's your strength bonus. Well, if that's my strength bonus, why isn't my strength just +3? Because you need two numbers. You need 16 and you need 3. Well, what's the 16 number there? Simply to confuse you. It serves absolutely no purpose. We've gone through 6 sets of DMGs, PHBs, and MMs, and it's still there. It serves no purpose but to confuse. None, right? And they still, so even their basic difficulty check has useless numbers that serve no purpose but to confuse the math. You're not even through the proficiency check. You're not even through the difficulty check yet, right? Now you need to add your proficiency, right? Now you need to determine what skill, right? Well, what skill, right? So you need to know what skill. You need to know what attribute that skill links to, okay? And then you need to know the bonus you need to know what skill, what attribute that links to, and you need a chart to do that. I've been running for years and I still don't remember all of them, right? You literally need a chart to get your attribute bonus, right? Based on whatever skill you're using. And then you have to know if that dot is 0 or 1. That's binary math. Is it on or off, right? And then you have to add the proficiency bonus, which isn't even logical, right? Is it your level? No. Is it half your level? No. It's some weird number that isn't half, that has some weird relationship to your level, right? And you need to add or not add that. It is outrageously difficult. That ignores completely tons of other math, right? How much gold do you have? How much is that gem worth? What is your encumbrance? D&D is all math, but it's worse than that, right? Recently, I did a recap for one of my campaigns. I put an owlbear against a first level character. I had to do, so first of all, I saw the challenge rating. I'm like, this is way too high, way too powerful for this first level character. But I still put it in because it fit the narrative, right? And I'm like, I'm not going to let some challenge rating numbers make this not cool, right? Like, and the story would have sucked if I had used the owlbear. The owlbear worked perfectly, right? But I got in this situation where it went sideways and that character was very close to death, right? Because it would do 15 points of damage with one hit. And this person was playing as a player character alone. They didn't have a team of other people to save them, right? So if the owlbear had hit him once, he had 9 hit points, he would have went down to 15. He would have been unconscious, and the owlbear would have tore his intestines open and feasted on his guts, right? And he would have been dead. So I had to use logic to save the character, right? So that literally the campaign didn't end in the first session. So it's worse than being all math. It's math it's incredibly intense, incredibly complicated math until you have to apply outrageously complicated logic. D&D is all math, right? It's not a myth. There is an outrageous amount of math in it. Now, why did the very smart, very kind, very nice, I like this guy. I like his channel, right? Gamemasters, he has a terrible name on his channel. He's a good guy, and his channel is good, and you should watch it, okay? Why did he say something that was so outrageously wrong if he's a good guy with a good channel, right? Well, this is a huge problem in many industries. A good friend of mine works in a complicated industry, and he said, often people will say, this is simple, and the things that they're saying are simple are light years away from simple. What they're saying is, I'm a genius and I understand this. Why don't you? And it's the same with this guy. This guy is a content creator. There are no dummy content creators on YouTube. You got to know what you're doing, right? Now, there are dummies. Like, I see if you roll onto my channel in the comment section, they'll come in and they're like, hey, Scott, you're not doing a good job with your channel. And then, by the way, just so you're aware, if you comment on my channel and you say something negative, I will immediately check your channel, right? And what I'll find sometimes is you'll have a guy with 4 or 5 pieces of video. That's not a content creator. Well, that is a content creator who sucks, right? But this guy is at scale, right? He's dropping beats, right? He's dropping content on the regular, right? You got to know what you're doing, right? Because if you don't know what you're doing and you're some sad sack, you will get people who will roll in the comments every day and say every single thing you've done wrong, right? Now, you either stop creating content, which a lot of people do, or you keep going and you get fixed by the cloud, right? You can't do the wrong thing forever on a YouTube channel because you will hear it in the comments every time you do. And if you don't, you'll stop growing, right? Like, so the problem fixes itself. So this guy is smart. So why is he saying that D&D, that it's a myth that D&D is all math? He says it at the end. He's like, oh, it's just a few numbers, right? And the reality is the numbers that are in Dungeons & Dragons, he is so smart, he can just absorb them. He naturally absorbs them, right? And he can throw them around in his head easily, right? He's like he's an Alan Richson fighting Paul Rubens, right? He can just throw those numbers around, right? He can just like kick them down, like he can handle it, right? And he doesn't have any problems with it. But that doesn't mean it's not all math. And that doesn't mean it's simple. It means it's simple. It means he is so smart, he can deal with it effortlessly. That is not the same thing as simple. And we have this problem all over Dungeons & Dragons. People go, oh, it's simple. Oh, it's simple. No, you ridiculous fool. You are a genius and also a fool, right? Now, in order to understand the distinction, you need good vocabulary. That's a different discussion, right? And you are a ridiculous fool, and you don't understand that your outrageous intellect has allowed you to capably handle something. That doesn't mean it's simple. Because it doesn't cause you friction doesn't mean it's simple. Not for anyone, right? And so we have this problem, right? And so this myth is absolutely real. D&D is all math until you hit the wall of logic, right? Not only is it all math, it's even worse than that. You have to be good at logic, which I would argue is even more complicated than all math, right? This myth is 100% true. D&D is all math. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.